Imagine waking up one morning and the sun is there, but it does not shine. It hangs in the sky like a pale coin, weak as if it is dying. Noon feels like dusk, shadows vanish, the air turns sharp. At first, people think it will pass, a strange day perhaps, an odd sky, but then days turns into weeks, weeks into months, and the sun never fully returns. Crops begin to rot in the fields, animals stop breeding, people start to starve across continents from Europe to Asia. Millions of people witness the same impossible sight, a darkened world, a fading sun. This was not a legend, this was not a religious myth. This happened and it changed human history forever. The year was 536 AD. Historians would later describe it as the worst year to be alive, not because of war, not because of invasion, but because the natural order itself collapsed. The sun, the most reliable thing humans have ever known, failed. Today, we know what caused it, but for the people living through it, this felt like the end of the world. This is the story of the day the sun disappeared. There was no single moment people could point to and say, this when it began. Instead, it crept in. Days where the sun felt weaker than usual, afternoons that never quite brightened, a sky that looked permanently washed out. In Constantinople, Procopius noticed something deeply unsettling. Procopius was not a monk or a prophet. He was a court historian writing official accounts for the Byzantine Empire during the reign of Emperor Justinian. His job was to document wars, politics, and state affairs, not omens or superstition. So, when he wrote that the sun shone without brightness like the moon, he was describing a physical reality that disrupted daily life. And this was not just Constantinople. The same sky was reported in Italy, Gaul, and the eastern Mediterranean, and as far away as China. From the Atlantic to the East Asia, people looked up to the sky and saw a sun that no longer behaved as it should. Shadows became faint, timekeeping became unreliable, farmers struggled to judge seasons. Similar descriptions appear in texts from Italy, Gaul, and the Levant area. What makes this extraordinary is the consistency. These writers did not know each other, they didn't share beliefs, yet they described the same sky. This was not regional weather, it was planetary. When nature behaves strangely, human looks for meaning, and in the 6th century, meaning was moral. If the sun dimmed, it wasn't accidental, it was a message. Religious leaders interpreted it as the darkness through the scriptures. Some warned of divine punishment, others spoke of final judgment. In cities, mass prayers replaced markets, processions replaced festivals. People fasted, ironically worsening the famine. In some places, fear did not stay private, it became organized. In the Byzantine world, church records describe mass penitential processions. Entire cities were ordered into the streets. Men, women, and children walked barefoot through cold air, chanting prayers, confessing sins, begging God to restore the light. These were not spontaneous gatherings, they were sanctioned by both church and state. The logic was simple. If the sun had dimmed, then God must be very angry, and the only solution was a collective repentance. Similar scenes unfolded across Western Europe, in Gaul, and northern Italy. Bishops called for extended fasting, even as crops failed and food supplies collapsed. Chronicles like Gregory of Tours describe famine, fear, and the widespread belief that the darkness in the sky reflected a deeper moral collapse. To modern ears, this sounded rational, but to people living in the 6th century, it was the most logical response available. They were not afraid of hunger, they were afraid that the moral order of the universal world had been broken. Ice cores act like time capsules. Each layer captures a single year of atmospheric history, dust, chemicals, even pollution. In layers dated to 536 AD, scientists found extreme sulfur concentration, volcanic glass fragments, chemical fingerprints of massive eruption. The evidence points to an eruption so large it injected material into the stratosphere, not just the lower atmosphere. At that height, particles can circle the Earth for years. Sunlight bounced away, daylight reached the ground, weakened. Crops depended entirely on sunlight. When sunlight weakened, growing season shortened, seeds failed to mature, harvest shrank year after year. Imagine a farmer planting the same field his family had worked for generations. The seeds sprout, the sun stays weak, and the harvest never comes. Summer frost killed bud overnight. Livestock starved slowly. Famine did not arrive as one disaster. It arrived as exhaustion. People ate seed grain, then livestock, then nothing. Entire regions starved simultaneously, something rarely seen before or since.